Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video today. I'm excited about this one because we are finally going to be talking about and going over my blood work results from my most recent appointment, and I can't wait to jump into it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So what I'm going to be comparing today is specifically the blood work that I had done at the very beginning-ish of my journey. I started my journey in November of 2022, and this blood work was, the initial blood work was done in January because that was when I had my physical, so we just kind of did it all then. At that point, I had lost a little bit of weight, but not a ton. Well, actually, I probably lost 20 or 25 pounds by that point. And then the most recent blood work I had done in July of 2024, so this month. So almost 2 years later, I guess about a year and a half later, here we go. We're gonna discuss, I have screenshots for you guys of all the graphs and how things have changed. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So I wrote it all down. Okay, so at the start, my weight so I am pulling my starting weight from my November 2022 appointment and not my January 2023 appointment, because November was when I started on Mounjaro, and that's when the journey kind of started. So we are going to pull my weight numbers and my blood pressure numbers from that appointment. So we're going to go from November 2022 to July 2024. So in November 2022, I weighed 229 pounds with a BMI of 36.96, which is considered very obese. I'm pretty sure anything over 30 is what is considered obese at this point. So 36.96. And then my blood pressure in November 2022 was 132/84, which was considered to be slightly high. A normal blood pressure is anything 120/80 and lower is what is considered normal. So 132/84 was considered to be a little bit high. Now, in July of 2024, my weight was 167 pounds. And my BMI was 26.95. So we have taken 10 points off of my BMI since I started this journey. And that is a lot. And so now I'm considered overweight. If you have a BMI of 25, I think, maybe it's 27. I don't know. I need to verify that information, but I think I'm still considered overweight, but I might not be. Is it 27? I'm gonna Google, we'll Google. But anyway, yeah, so my BMI is 26.95, and then my blood pressure in July 2024 was 93/62. In comparison, y'all, I just said it, 132/84 to 93/62, which was considered to be slightly low, is what they said. My doctor didn't say anything about it. The nurse, when she took it, was like, oh, that's, a little low. No big deal. And then he never said anything else about it. So I'm assuming if he, thought that it was, that he would have said something. Now, when I tell y'all how much weight I've lost, so 229 to 167 is 63 or 62, something like that, pounds. So that's the number, I guess, if you want to do it that way. But the number I always go with is what I weighed when I got my tummy tuck, which was what I consider to be the beginning of this journey. And that was 247 pounds. So that's where that extra 20-ish pounds comes from when I'm talking about losing over 80 pounds from my highest weight when I started this entire makeover journey. That's what I've lost. So wanted to throw that in there since I, whatever. Okay. Moving on to more specific blood work type results. So what I'm going to be sharing with you guys and the pictures that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is stuff that is specifically related to weight loss that could be specifically altered by weight loss. So obviously things like your, in your blood counts, like your white blood cell counts or your leukocytes or your whatever cannot, that's not really necessarily weight affected. It's definitely health. It shows the doctor what's going on in your body. So if you have an astronomical amount of white blood cells in your body, you're probably fighting off some type of illness or whatever. So I'm not going to go over that information because it's not specific to weight loss. We're going to go over what is. So In January 2023, that's where we're starting now with blood work. My CBC, which is my blood count, was everything pretty much was within normal levels. The one thing that I wanted to point out was my hemoglobin, which is, I'm pretty sure, iron. That was 13.6 in January of 2023. And then in July of 2024, it was 13. So it did go down slightly. And I've actually wondered about that because I've mentioned before that sometimes when I stand up, I'll be a little bit dizzy, which from being in the Orderly Meds Facebook group, I've noticed that a lot of other people have that side effect as well. And so I have often wondered if it's an iron issue or a low blood sugar issue or something related to that. So I actually was a little bit intrigued to see that number having gone down a little bit, and maybe I need to take like an iron supplement or something like that. The one that I'm pretty interested in was my lipid panel, which is cholesterol levels. So we all want to have good cholesterol, right? Like that is, you know, directly related to your heart health and all of that and just your overall health. So in January of 2023, my total cholesterol was 176, which was considered in a normal range. Anything over 200 of total cholesterol is what is considered to be, you know, you're getting your borderline high cholesterol or whatever. So it was 176 in January of 2023, and my HDL was 44, which is considered low. And that's your good cholesterol. So your good cholesterol is the HDL. That's the number that you want to be higher. So that one was 44, low. And then my LDL, which is what is your bad cholesterol, was 110. And that was considered to be high. So those are all of my January 2023 numbers. Now, my January 2024 numbers, which are exciting, my total cholesterol was 161. In January, it was 176. So it went down 15 points in the course of that year, which is awesome. So we're getting further away from that 200 borderline high cholesterol. My HDL was 53. So still low, but better. So in, again, January it was 44. In July of 2024, it went up to 53. So 9 points we increased that. So that is good. We're going the right direction. And then this is, I think, the best one. The LDL, again, in January was 110. In July 2024, it went down to 81, which is in the normal range. So I was in a high level in the beginning and it went down to being in normal range, which I love. I'm really excited about that. I'm very happy with that. So I did want to mention my thyroid level. I did have him check it in July, and he's checked it a few times throughout my journey because I do actually have a sister who had a thyroid tumor. It was a non-cancerous thyroid tumor, but it was a thyroid tumor. And so because of that, I just like to be extra cautious and have that kind of thing checked. Now, he did say that thyroid, the most like obvious way to detect a thyroid tumor is just to feel, because there is inflammation that happens with your thyroid being such a small gland in your neck. If you have a tumor or a nodule or whatever, it's a pretty easy thing to feel. So he said that's the most obvious way to detect a problem and that mine felt fine. But blood work doesn't necessarily always show, especially if you have a level that's not affecting your hormones, or if you have a nodule that's not affecting your hormones. If it's just this benign nodule that's there, that won't necessarily show up on blood work. So I did want to give that little like precursor. But in July of 2024, my TSH level was 1.508, which is considered to be in the normal range. So I do recommend that being something that is checked, or at least having your neck felt periodically, because why not? Like, we don't necessarily want to develop thyroid cancer, which, I mean, my doctor has said it, I've said it, he said it to me, thyroid cancer, if you're gonna get a cancer, I mean, obviously everything can be bad, but like that's one of the better ones to get, because most often they just cut your thyroid out and that's that. But yeah, I wanted to throw that out there. I did get my thyroid levels checked and that is what it was. And then the final thing that I wanted to touch on were a few of the numbers on my metabolic panel. So the metabolic panel tests things like sodium and potassium and your glucose levels and all of that sort of a thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about a few of those numbers. So my sodium level has actually not changed at all. So in January of 2023, it was 138, which is considered normal. And it was the exact same thing of 138 in July of 2024. So not complaining about that. Same thing with my potassium. My potassium was 3.7 in 2023 and 3.8 in 2024. So a lot of these numbers aren't changing, but they were all within normal levels to begin with. So I'm keeping them in normal levels while also improving my cholesterol and my weight and my BMI and my blood pressure and all of the other things that we've improved. My glucose level was one that was different. However, I did go back and verify this. In January 2023, I fasted. So I went to my physical first thing in the morning and I had not eaten anything. And so the best indicator of a glucose level is a fasting glucose. So the one in 2023 was fasting. This one this year was not. My appointment was at like 4 in the afternoon. So that definitely, you know, whatever. However, in 2023, it was 71, which was considered on the lower end of normal. And in 2024, it was 86, which is completely normal. So for it to be a not fasting one and still be under 100, I think 105 is the level that you're wanting it to be under, still under 100, I'm perfectly happy with that result. So no problems there. And then the last thing was my protein levels. In 2023 was 6.5 and in 2024 was 6.3. So again, around the same. The only note is that in 2023, it was considered like normal. And then in 2024, it was like low normal, just that 0.2 difference, because 6.1 is considered to be low for my age and gender and all of that. So that's something that maybe I need to work on. But I'm not sure if that's something where you just eat more protein and then the protein, is that directly affected by the protein you eat? I don't know. Maybe that's a question I need to message him and ask, but I did want to mention that in there. So what I take from this is that I need to take an iron supplement, and then otherwise I'm doing great. I would like to increase my HDL level more, my good cholesterol. So definitely researching ways that I can do that. If you have any tips, leave them down below, but I'm assuming it's just going to be by eating healthy fruits and vegetables and good lean proteins and all of that. That's kind of what I think. But again, maybe I'll Google it. So there's all my blood work results. I know I've been promising them for a while, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to get them. I wanted to get the results from this time in July. And then I wanted to really take the time to go through and gather all my screenshots and all of that so that I could put them in here to, I mean, not even like prove, but just for reference. The last time that I weighed in a video, which was a couple of weeks ago, I had a comment that said, were both of your feet even on the scale? Which in my mind was like, are you saying I'm lying about my weight that's on the scale right there? So here you have it, people. There was a picture of it, 167, which is the exact same thing that my scale said in that video, by the way. So there's that. I don't know. I don't have to prove myself, but if I can squash anything that is being said, then I will, because why wouldn't you, right? Okay, so that's my little update for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it gave you some good information on kind of what you can expect to change over the course of everything. One thing that I really appreciated my doctor saying was how good of a job I've done of losing the weight in the correct way, like over the correct amount of time and all of that. And he made it clear to say that because he said that he has a lot of people that he will put on Ozempic specifically, because that's the easier one to source in our area, Wegovy, and they'll come in a month later and they've like dropped 30 pounds. And he says they have this, what they call Ozempic face online. They'll have this really droopy look to their face, their cheeks will sink in. He said their like butts will flatten and like sag because they're just losing the weight so fast and their bodies are just so depleted of all the nutrients. So he said that he was like, I like that you come in here and you look healthy and your skin looks you know, not like it's dried out and saggy, and everything looks healthy as well, because he said the danger that you're getting into now with the popularity of these medications is the people that are going to become, that will develop eating disorders as a result, which is very sad. But he was like, you know, I see it happening. I think that we're going to be seeing more of that. And I think that doctors are going to have to be more judgy or think more through who we're putting these medications on and when it's appropriate to change doses and all of that, and just monitoring it closer as it's becoming a bigger thing, because, you know, just like anything else, people are going to get addicted. And I don't mean that like in a way of like addicted to, why is it a bad thing if we're addicted to losing weight or whatever? It's not, but too much of anything can be bad. Right? Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video. Emoji of the day. We're picking from, I'm in Finley's room, and I think this video is coming out before the one that I talked about this in, but we're picking emojis of the day from her squishies. So this one is going to be pizza. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon. Bye guys.